Hi, this is Linda Willow Roberts with another episode of How to Manifest, Magical Manifesting Conversations. I've got ThunderBeat Devara on the ready to come on, and she's a multi-award-winning international recording artist, an author, a teacher, an inspirational speaker, a Reiki master, a pioneer in colour, light and sound. Please welcome Devara.
Hi.
How are you? How are you?
Great.
And you're in Sedona, which is amazing. So here I am in Australia and you're in Sedona in that beautiful energy. So we're talking about today how to manifest. So most of the spiritual leaders that I've talked to have started their spiritual journey because of challenges, or they wanted to change their life. So did you have any challenges earlier on? Is that what got you into the your spiritual journey?
I think I've always been kind of spiritual, but learning a lot on my way, my life. Basically, waking. Everyone's constantly waking up to a different level. That's what I see. And I remember when I was living in a certain area of the United States, Florida, it was hard to talk to anybody. There was a lot of people that had spiritual groups that I checked out, and it seemed like everyone was in competition. And competition is nothing to do with spirituality. It's actually a negative. And it really kind of bummed me out, and it was hard to speak my truth. So then I moved to Sedona, and I said, oh, wow, this is a place. It's very spiritual here, yes. And it's very ancient knowledge here in the Red Rocks. The point is, I thought I could speak my truth here, and because I heard people were very much awake here, and wasn't the case at all. People looked at me like I was crazy. But I've had ET contact, so that was where I wanted to find my star family of contactees. And I heard all kinds of really cool stuff about in the 80s that there was UFO groups here in Sedona, and I guess they all disappeared because I couldn't find anybody. Not till like 10 years later that people, the young ones, the indigos, started coming in, and then I go, here they are. I'm older, but I'm like a crystal indigo, and they came in, and I said, there you are, you're just younger. And the new wave, I guess you could call, that came in.
Yeah, and that's what happens, isn't it? And I don't think, being spiritual, I don't think it really matters about our age. It's the connections, it's the vibration. So what were the first spiritual steps that you took? What did you, so you moved to manifest what it was that you wanted in your spiritual life. So you moved from Florida to Sedona. So what other spiritual things did you do to help you manifest, the life that you wanted?
Basically, I'm a musician all my life, and was in rock and roll bands for 20 years, and professional musician, went to Eastman School of Music, which is a very profound school here in the States. And then one day it was kind of like I woke up and I was getting tired of the egos and another competition within a band, because you're supposed to be a family, and it was just constantly arguing, and I said, this is not fun anymore. And spirit comes in. I had connections with spirit guides, and I can hear them. I'm very clairvoyant, which is a psychic ability. There's six or more psychic abilities. I've actually been tested for all of them and have all of them. I didn't know till I was tested, though. But I hear spirit, and the spirit says, go solo. And I said, go solo? How? I'm a drummer. That's why they call me ThunderBeat. That's actually a Native American name also. They said, go solo. And I said, how does a drummer go solo? That was very confusing to me. And he comes in, this male, powerful thundery voice comes in and says, "Go solo now." And I'm like, okay. So I'm really good in the recording studio.
That.
Pardon?
You can't ignore that.
Did I go there? What?
I said you can't ignore. You can't ignore that. That's that. Coming.
No,
big
no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No, it was very encouraging, I guess. You know, there's more words. I just can't think of the words. It just really gave me a lot of energy and courage, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, how do I do that? So I bought a keyboard, and so I started writing, and I was always fascinated in the early 90s with sound and how each key, you know, affects you and makes you feel. So I did my own studies on that. I didn't read any books. I was just really paying attention for 10 years before I actually went like solo as a sound healer.
Yes.
So that's when, but I was doing all that, and then Spirit comes in, he goes, "Go solo now." And actually my first CD that I kind of wrote was my chakra CD, which is out internationally. But that, another way I manifested and helped me wake up was my sacred site travels, like to Egypt.
Yes.
When I was overnight in the Great Pyramid.
Yeah.
The Archangel Gabriel, he came in, he announced himself, and he says to me, "Color, light, sound. 7 is a sacred number. 7 is a sacred number. Color, light, sound." And I'm, oh my, he's talking about the chakras. And he's telling me there's an activational tone for each chakra. It's not out yet. It's in the United States. It wasn't out in the world of sound healing and the chakra tones and all that. Yeah. And so I went home and started writing the chakra experience, you know.
That's amazing. I've been to the pyramid as well, and it is a life-changing thing. And I think when you're on your spiritual journey, like going to sacred sites and to places that resonate with you certainly help you break through the spiritual glass ceiling. And so after that, you developed the chakra tones. And so while you were doing that, was that opening more spiritual doors for you, being able to manifest more? Did that all just fall into place?
Yeah, it was like I knew what to do, but the surprise thing that happened, I'm in my recording studio and I went through all the tones and figured them out. That took about 6 weeks, and I started to record it, and I recorded the first chakra, the root chakra. Then I went to record the second chakra, and Archangel Gabriel comes in again. He goes, "No, not yet, not time." And I'm like, "What?" And he literally physically somehow stopped me. Nothing worked. Nothing in my recording studio worked. I mean, he literally stopped me. And a long story short, this went on for 4 years. Every time I tried to record that CD, he stopped me. And I recorded other CDs in the meantime, no problem. Actually, 2 CDs in the meantime. And it was all smooth sailing. And then 9/11 happened here in the States. The Twin Towers fell. And it was the day after, and Archangel Gabriel comes in and he says, "Okay, it's time now."
Well, there you go. We've really got to listen to spirit, don't we? Especially when we're manifesting and we're trying to do something new and move forward. They just come in and they tell you, and they don't mind saying no, and they will hold everything back until you're ready, and then they just go woof, and the doors open and you move through it. So
yeah, it taught me about timing, the timing for the planet, and they can see so much in the future where we can't down here in third dimension. And so when I finished the CD, it came out and it became #1 in the country that next year in 2002.
That's amazing.
And that was what, the 9/11 happened in 2001, September, the end of the year, and I just learned so much, that it is a perfect timing thing that needs to happen with these sacred gifts, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's about helping the collective, isn't it? So that was what they
Absolutely.
needed at that particular time. So that's
Yeah, they
great.
needed a lot of healing
Yeah.
because the CD does, you know, relieve anxiety, stress, fear,
Yeah.
pain. You know,
Yeah.
those are the major things besides aligning your chakras, which it does. It removes all kinds of negative things and old stuff, and it's amazing. It blew me away too, because the more I use it for the years now, the more things are coming up. Oh, it does this too, you know? And I'm
Yeah.
like, for colic babies, I found out it makes them sleep peacefully, and it's a beautiful thing when you work with spirit.
It certainly is. And so you'll be aligning. So that so helps people manifest, because you need everything aligned and clear to be able to one, be clear channeled to get messages from spirit, but also to be ready to move forward. So we've got to work on ourselves and make sure that everything's aligned so that we can move forward. So if you're wanting to manifest something, what's your go-to thing? What do you do?
You mean like a project? I just go for it. I just have the visual. It's pretty quick. Like today, I'm working on 3 different projects at the same time,
Are you?
and yeah, and I do a lot of artwork. I do all my artwork for my CDs, and I'm working on a major project now for it's a theatrical show, which I've won 4 major awards for already. I just needed the funding to launch it, but I have some partners now, so I'm working on all the visuals, and
Yeah.
so you just work on, just do it. Like a lot of people ask me, how come you get so much accomplished? I said, you got to just put your mind to it and
Yeah.
finish the project. Don't like go, okay, well, I'll do that later, and don't stop thinking about it. But no, I
Yeah.
always do. Completion is very, very, very important. So
It is, isn't it? Because you're finishing one cycle and starting another one. So it's really important, isn't it, to listen to spirit, and I think when you're in the flow, it just does happen like that, doesn't it? It's so easy, and the steps go like, bang, 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 and you just move along. So the play that you're doing, is that a spiritual play?
oh yeah, it's about the ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses,
Oh,
not the
wonderful.
pharaohs and the queens. It's
No.
about the creation story, that we come from the stars and we
Yes.
return to the stars. But it's the whole storyline, um, with the full soundtrack I've written, and all the script and the visuals, and I'm excited about it. So
Yeah, I would be too. So Egyptian archetype. So is Thoth there, and Isis, and Sirius, and um,
yes,
who are the
9,
Hathor?
actually there's 12 gods I put in there: Thoth, Ra,
Yep,
Ma'at, Osiris, Isis,
yep,
and then all the gods that they don't talk about. And not all the gods; they had so many, but in
yep,
different timelines. This is more like the original beginning timeline story, where they had the elemental gods, like they had Jeb with the earth god, and the wind god, and the rain, fire god. And so each one has their own song, and it has their own dance, and the whole thing. And it's kind of like a Circus Soleil show, where they come and they do the
Oh,
stars.
wonderful. So is the songs to each of them, is that sound therapy as well? Is that like is
Yeah.
going to people are going to watch it and heal from things at the same time?
Oh, they're going to be floating when they get out of that show.
Raising the vibration. That's wonderful. That's really good, isn't it?
Everything I write is activational. These tones that come through, and just they're like underlining tones that activate you.
Yes.
Um, and the feedback I've been getting for each CD, everything I write is totally different. Like I
Yeah.
have a Mayan CD, and that's very tribal, didgeridoo, flutes, drums, and people. I get a lot of feedback, as in for that one. Oh my God, you just brought up my past lives. I saw them in visions, and
Yeah.
And not necessarily Mayan. It could be anything, but I get a lot of past life there. And yeah, so each CD is very different, and you can experience them on my ThunderBeat Bandcamp site. It's really cool.
Yeah. So that's really great. So it's activation, but it's bringing things to the surface as well. So when somebody comes, when you have a client, so you see people individually, and so if somebody comes to you and says, I want to manifest this in my life, what would be your go-to tool to help them?
Well, a couple of things. It depends. I have to tune into the person, so what they need, as in if they might be some clearing of old stuff that's creating blockages for them, you know, as in they're stuck in this old thought paradigm or situation that they're covering up that they don't know that is slowing them down. And that's usually my sound healing session. And then I have an empowerment session. It's the activating the 22 DNA activation. It's very powerful stuff. It's from the Keys of Enoch, the 22 golden light codes that I embed into a person. It totally empowers them. They remember who they are. They remember why they're here, their mission. It's mind blowing. And I feel very honored that I'm one of 12 people that do this work in the world that I know of, you know.
Yeah, that's great. I can remember when I met you in Sedona last year. I had to think then, when was I there? But last year, you did the 22 DNA activation with me, and it was felt. I could feel when you were doing it. I could feel like a vibration, and it was like pulsing. And that's just very talented in the sound area and the activation, and I just admire you for that. I love talking to people with different modalities because every modality resonates with people. They need different things at different times, and I think that it's great that somebody could come to you and get a clearing done, and then be activated, ready to go out and to manifest. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it helps be clear and clearer, you know, so they can see their awareness. A lot of people don't know what awareness. What do you mean awareness? So it expands your awareness so you can see things more clearly and like faster, kind of like, oh, we can put it like all together faster and go, oh, it's kind of like you're looking outside of the whole situation instead of being in it. You can see it much better.
Oh, it's easy, isn't it? It's like watching a movie. You're actually standing back and you can see it, and it's like, really, you're right. It's really, really quick. And so, you know, I think manifesting before you've cleared is like trying to look through mud, really, isn't it? It's not, you can't see the forest for the trees sort of thing, but when you've had that clearing done, it sort of is instantly, everything's more vibrant, isn't it? It's just clearer. Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I receive. The feedback I receive is like, oh my God, I can see better. I can hear better. Colors are more vivid. And, you know, they're not like people, we're so stressed out here, especially in the United States. Everyone's so stressed, and they're not realizing that's creating blockages and fear. And fear is the opposite of love. So it's really lowering your vibration. And so it's hard to see up here, you know?
Yeah, true. So if somebody come to you that was very fearful, what sound healing or what would you do? What would be the first thing that you would do for them?
That's very what?
If they come to you very fearful, what would you suggest to them?
I don't know that word. Thieful? What do you mean? Like
fearful. When they're fearing everything, they're scared.
Oh, fearful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's the accent. Sorry. Well, that's definitely the sound healing. The chakra CD just makes people go, you know, it's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah.
And they said a lot of people, it's an hour session, let's say, and which is it's an hour session, and they go, I can't believe that you just did that in an hour. They just released all kinds of things, and it's sound. Sound is just amazing, and it's going to be the medicine of the future. I mean, it's happening as medicine now, but people are going to be waking up to this more and more, including hospitals with frequencies, and they're doing research on it now and using some of it now. But I know in the next 10, 20 years it's going to be big.
Yeah, I love toning, and I love sound and vibration. I'm very much into energy and frequency and vibration. I watch the Schumann resonance. This week it was 120, which is the electromagnetic field around the Earth. And I know that when that is quite a high, because it normally vibrates at 7.83, which is the bone structure for us. But when it gets high, I'm pinging the energy and the ideas, and it's just like move like this. It goes really quickly. So I know that the frequency and the sound and that is beneficial. It's just amazing how the lay world, the non-spiritual people, are actually starting to pick that up. Do you think that the vibrational frequency, as the earth evolves and as there's more people that are woken up to the spiritual world, do you think the frequencies and the sounds are changing and are becoming more a higher vibration?
Absolutely. When people tune into a higher vibration, in masses, it raises the frequency of everything, the earth, even though the earth is raising her frequency. But I'm going to say that a lot of people don't know that there is a lot of people that do know, but I'm just saying the frequencies of like the cell phones and the towers and all that actually lowers the frequency of the earth. And it's a microwave energy that is lowers the vibration, and it's sad, but but nothing it won't affect you if you raise your vibration. See, that's the thing. But a lot of times people that don't know how to raise their vibration, they get sucked into it lower and lower and lower, and they become tired and can't think straight and foggy minded and wondering why. I eat healthy, I take vitamins, I jog, I exercise, and nothing's working. It's because of the towers, the frequencies that
So what would you say to them? What things would you get them to do to raise their vibration?
My chakra journey CD. It works. I use it. I have to use it myself a lot of times because of these frequencies. It's like, where's my chakra CD? I'm gonna put it on, and then once you just go through it, it's like, and you raise your frequency, and you feel so much lighter, and you can feel that low vibration, but it doesn't affect you as much. It's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, true. And you're in Sedona, so I would think like Sedona has got the 4 big vortexes around it, has lots more vortexes. But when I was there last year, just being in Sedona itself, it just feels like being in this big love bubble. It's just a beautiful vibration. I've not lived there, so I know life gets in the way. So just being in those vortexes, has the vortex energy changed in 2020?
With the vortex energy is always moving and changing. Always. It's anyway. It's a movement. So there are so many. There's like they talk about when people come, the tourists come. They used to talk about 7. Now they got it down to 5. No, there's like hundreds.
Yes.
Hundreds.
Yes.
They're all over, and they're all over the world. There seem to be more compact here in this area because the ancient land that I have tuned into, that I've received downloaded information on what this was in the ancient past, thousands of years ago, which is I have actually found Egypt here in Sedona, ancient Egypt.
Look, I found that really weird. So I knew that there was vortexes at Sedona. I knew that I needed to go there. I didn't have much other thought about it because I like to turn up and go, okay, how does it feel? Because I live in synchronicity. And I just got there and I couldn't, and I hired a couple of guides, and so that I went out on, you know, some really big hikes. And I couldn't get over, I couldn't shut up about Egypt. It was like Egypt, Egypt, Egypt. And I said to them, the guides, I'm so sorry, but the energy there at Sedona is just mirroring Egypt. And then I had a look at, you've got a video, and you can see in the rocks that there's Isis and the Sphinx and all different Egyptian archetypes that are in the rocks. And it just feels so good there. But I certainly can attest, I have been to Sedona and I felt the Egyptian energy there. It was absolutely amazing, but it shocked me because I didn't realise.
Did you, I forget, did you take my Egypt and Sedona tour?
No, I didn't, but I've got
well, if you come here, I have Spirit has guided me to do the Egypt and Sedona tour, because I found like 9, I have all the pictures, 9, 10, 11 gods here, and probably about 7 or 8 sphinxes, and people that live here for 25 years, they go, oh my God, I never saw that before till you pointed it out. But I have a major connection with Egypt, major. I mean, I have past lives, and I remember a lot of the past lives now, and it's amazing. So it's kind of like Spirit showed me these things when I first moved here. They actually transported me there magically. I'm going to say it. They transported me in my car to these place. I said, I don't want to go this way. Why am I here? And they keep going, and then they showed me where to stop, and they showed me the Sphinx. There was the second week I moved here, and I went, oh my. I said, thank you so much. And the huge Sphinx here faces east, just like the one in Egypt.
That's amazing, isn't it? But isn't it good, you know, part of being in the flow is what we call it spiritually, is showing up to where Spirit directs us. I don't know how many times I've gone like, why am I going here? I didn't want to go this direction. And you turn up and you go, oh, like, thank you. And I think I think that helps people
Thank you.
Yeah, that helps people with manifesting too, is letting go and just go where you're guided. You really trust it, don't you?
Right. It's don't force the flow. That's my message there. Ride the wave and let things happen naturally, instead of going, okay, well, I got this plan and this plan, and I got to go here and I go there. That's what's distracting us from just being in the moment and being with Spirit, you know, and guided. If you you know, have your guides with you. Everyone has guides, and they're not listening to them or can't hear them because they're too busy organizing it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's why I've talked to you know, business people about it, and they've gone, oh, I'm not really into spiritual stuff. And I go, well, do you have a gut feeling if you're going to start a new project, or, you know, do something new? Do you actually have a gut feeling whether to do it or not? And I go, yeah. And I go, well, that's it.
That's it. You gut feeling. Listen to yourself, you know, trust yourself.
Yes. And that's a big thing, isn't it? Trusting yourself is, I used to, I suppose my first half of my life wasn't that good, but my second half is better, and I'm having an absolute ball. But it was, I'm in the transition from the life I had to now, actually didn't trust my decision making. And so I gave it over to Spirit, and I asked them to be with me 24/7 to help me make the decisions. And I feel quite good about my decisions now.
Nice. Yeah. You listen to your guides. They're there to help you. And the angels, people go, what's the difference between angels and ETs? I have a book out called My Encounters with ETs and Angels, and they're very different because they are kind of positioning themselves in different areas. Like the angels are right here, like right in this kind of atmosphere, and they're just waiting for you to ask for help, because they can't just come and help you unless you ask them, because of the free will zone on planet Earth. So they're just like, hurry up. Can you ask me? They're like bored, you know, some of them.
Yeah.
so you can,
well,
you can ask.
We've come to the end. Thank you very much for ThunderBeat for joining me, having a conversation, talking to us. So we've talked about manifesting. We've talked about being in the now, staying present, asking your angels, being open, clearing yourself to manifest through sound healing. And I think that's wonderful and some really good tips. Thank you for joining me. And I really appreciated that you've been here. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.